Am I the a-hole for leaving a dinner party after a girl sat on my husband's lap? The question is he alive? What part of him did you cut? What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your girl G.
Hello.
And we're back with another video. So we're gonna be dishing out some relationship advice. So let the therapy begin.
I will give you some advice now, Sid.
I am still so shocked with everything. So sorry for my rambling. My husband, it's called him Jake, and I have been married for 3 years. And from the beginning, he was very close with his best friend's sister, Cindy, which is an 18-year-old female. How old is the husband though? She didn't put it.
Your own husband's birthday.
Well, my husband would often talk about her and tell how he had seen her grow up throughout the years.
Okay.
Cindy is always very bubbly and seems very fond of Jake as well. I remember when we were dating, she would ask to come along on our dates a lot. Sorry, no. She's 18, even if she was like less than 10-year-old. Dates are not for kids.
Hey, baby. Toddler.
So sorry. Now, I never really said anything as I liked spending time with her as well. She was like a little sister to me. When we announced our engagement, she asked to my husband to better not forget her after being a married man and to still hang out with her. Okay. No comments, because it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense. But it makes a little bit of sense. When people get married, they become like adults and all of that. So it's not okay. So that part makes sense. Well, we got married and I even made her my bridesmaid. Soon we moved to a different state and kind of lost contact. Now Jake's best friend came to stay with us for some time, and Cindy came along as well.
Why are you following us?
Okay. Wait, does she not have a life or like school or something to be doing, like college or a job? Now, the moment she saw us, the first thing she said was how hot my husband has gotten, and she was glad he didn't look like those boring married men.
Yo, she.
Excuse you. I mean, it's cordial, it's adult too. When you see a married man and his wife and you're a girl, compliment the wife, even if you don't mean it, but like just be nice and polite. Wow, love your hair. This dress looks really good on you. And be an adult. Then even if you're planning, even if you're thinking, but like this dress looks good on him, tell the wife. Okay.
It's not okay. What are you?
That's not okay. That's not okay. But yeah, that was it was like she noticed it. The wife noticed it because she still remembers it at this point. So that was not okay. Then throughout their stay, Cindy would just ignore my presence and we would be way too close with Jake. That's exactly what I was saying. You have to acknowledge the wife and like be more cordial with her, even if you're friends with the guy. Because I mean, imagine, just put yourself in her shoes. You wouldn't want to feel that way, so don't do it. I told Jake that it was looking a bit inappropriate and to ask Cindy to tone it down. But he said that Cindy is just a bit childish and is that way with everybody.
Not correct.
Excuse you, she's not that way with me, so this is not everybody. Well, at their last day, we decided to host a dinner party for everyone. During the party, I was with Jake when Cindy came and told me, "Oh, I need to steal your husband for a while."
What did she say? What? Oh.
And before I could say anything, she grabbed Jake's hand and took him for playing games. I ignored it since it was their last day, but then throughout the dinner, she was getting way too close with Jake and would just drag him away whenever I would be around while giggling at me.
Bitch.
Like, how did you even let it go this long? Like, life is too short to be angry for too long, so she was supposed to have blown up earlier. Even though you're going to look like a jealous brat, but it's okay. Besides, I think this is a point where Jake's brain cells were supposed to tell him that something is not okay. Or if his brain cells were not educated enough, she should have helped educate him by doing the exact same thing
In your brain.
with at least one other guy who was there during their visit, preferably Jake's brother if his wife is not there, or Jake's friend, so that Jake can understand and comprehend how inappropriate that was. What do you guys think? Because that's literally the best way to educate people. But let's move on. When everybody sat for dinner, I sat beside Jake and Cindy came last. She then said, "Oh, there's no seat," and then just went and sat on my husband's lap. Everybody was surprised and Jake said, laughing, "Cindy, stop acting like a kid. You're not a kid anymore." Cindy started laughing, saying it was just a joke, and got up and sat on other seats while giggling at me. Yeah, I was so angry with the disrespect and with the fact that Jake was so cool. In fact, it's his reaction. She's already a stupid adult.
Adults are stupid.
But yeah, it's his reaction that is even more aggravating. That's the best word for it. So, but I didn't want to say anything bad, so I excused myself, took my car, and went out. Oh my god, that's like it's just screaming.
Classic, 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 classic life.
You know what? Excuse me. Okay, I've not yet reached that level. I mean, I'm just thinking that would I do the same thing? Because this is like when she's here. But I don't think I'll let myself get there. Like, she was supposed to have handled this a long time ago. By educating him, like I said earlier, just make him understand what he's doing is wrong by doing the same thing. About 1 hour later, Jake called me asking where I was. I told him I am going to a friend's house and I will come after Cindy has left. I know what I did was terrible, but I was so angry.
Is it terrible?
Excuse you, it's not terrible. But I was so angry at the time that if I had stayed there any longer, I would have probably started fighting or crying. I came the next day and Cindy and her family had left. Jake was very pissed and said I took things too far. The pissed is understandable, but it's the wrong person that's pissed. I started crying and told him how everything made me feel. He said I was horrible to think such things about Cindy and that she was like his sister.
You are not my sister.
Okay, just do the same thing with your like a brother person. I told him that I was not doubting his intentions, but I was hurt by how disrespectful Cindy's behavior was, and he was enabling her by not saying anything. He started saying that I sound ridiculous and couldn't even take a joke, referring to the sitting on the lap incident. I said, regardless, I don't want her in my house again, and that's on period. To top it off, Cindy sent a message saying that she was sorry about making me so insecure in myself and that she would make sure to make me feel better. But I should not have left as it was pretty childish and kind of spoiled the mood. It felt so backhanded. I didn't reply anything to her. Can I please text Cindy for you?
Not the time for joking.
Okay. I'm sorry, I keep laughing because this is like really, 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 really stupid. Like, she should have just shut up. She should have just kept her mouth shut. And the fact is like that kind of I'm sorry, I'm so pretty, I made you feel ugly about, like, insecure about yourself. Like, girl, what? She's married, you're a child, you're still to figure out what life is. But it's really okay. Let's just move on. But that was just like it was really, really backhanded apology. I just told my husband he needs to maintain a distance with Cindy. He asked if I was giving him an ultimatum. Hell yeah, I am. Yep. I said if he would go as far as disregard and disrespect my feelings for Cindy, this really rubbed my husband the wrong way, and he said, since I have such disgusting thoughts in my mind, and is giving him an ultimatum anyways, then he might as well leave, because he cannot live with such an insecure person who has such disgusting thoughts about him.
My gosh.
The fact that his brain cells do not comprehend that his actions have made her feel like he's here, and she's not communicating, because whatever she says, he's in his own world and just chooses to see things from his side and has zero empathy, and is putting in zero effort to try to understand where she's coming from. And I mean, so many people on Reddit, I don't even know what the comments say yet, but so many people on Reddit are always like, just leave, divorce. And I don't really like that. And people think it's like so much work getting married, so it's like so much work breaking that off. But I think they definitely need to see someone, or just do it my way, because we're in therapy. I mean, I could give her this advice, right? Because I really think that husband guy does not understand how that looks, and the best way that I know how to make him understand how that looks is to teach him, educate him, show him how it looks by being the exact same way with someone else, especially someone that he's insecure about, because it will work like a charm. You wouldn't even need to stress. Then his brain will be like, hey, what are you doing? Then be like, oh, okay. That's how I felt during the scene time. He packed a bag and left to his mother's place. I have tried apologizing numerous times. The apology is just the wrong person doing the apologizing, telling how sorry I am for everything, but he's ignoring my texts and calls. Later, Cindy's brother texted me and called me a bunch of names. To think like that about his sister, saying Jake should just leave me, and a disgusting person like me deserves to be alone. I could not stop crying after all that. I don't know how to fix this. Is there a way to even come back? Was I wrong to deserve this? I don't know anymore. So there's an edit, but let us go to the first comment at least. Oh my gosh, the edits are like so long. But let's go to the first comment. And the first comment is like, not the AO. Your only mistake was apologizing to your husband, as if his accusations were fair. Yeah, that's what I feel like doing. Like, that was the only mistake she made. The next person says, agreed, she had nothing to apologize for. Now her apology justifies their actions as making it seem like they did nothing wrong, but she did, since she's apologizing, because that's true. She's making it feel like, oh, sorry, I was wrong for feeling bad. No, for feeling pissed that you're letting another girl sit on you. I would go as far as taking back the apology, because like, where does she even start from here? How do you go and start to take back the apology? Because the man's brain cells does not comprehend the fact that what he did was wrong, what he let happen was wrong. So yep, everything she was upset about is invalid. Even future upsets is invalid. Apologizing was OP's biggest mistake. That's true. Being the first person to apologize. So let's go and check out the edits. There are so many of them. So the first edit was that people were asking our ages. We are 25 years old, just months apart. Oh, that explains. I'm sorry, but like, that explains it. The man is a kid, and I'm sorry, but I know that a lot of men's brains become mature way slowly. He's acting like a child, because a 25-year-old girl is way more mature than a 25-year-old man, because women mature faster. Look it up. I'm not the one saying it. So the first update. Thank you all for responding, and people who gave me good advice in my personal messages. I couldn't read all the comments, but now I know my feelings are valid and boundaries were crossed by Cindy. Now, during the dinner, there was Cindy, her brother Sean, and his girlfriend, and their cousin Derek, also a good friend of my husband, and his boyfriend. So I called Derek and asked about the situation and what happened after I left. He was sympathetic and said that after I left, at first they thought I would come back after some time. However, things were really awkward. But when I didn't come, Sean's girlfriend told Cindy, someone speaks.
Who's there?
Sean's girlfriend told Cindy that she was so disrespectful for doing that. Derek and his boyfriend also said the same thing to this. Cindy started crying, saying, "Oh, now I understand where the husband's defense is coming from." Cindy started crying, saying they didn't have to corner her and attack her over a silly joke, that she didn't know it would get so out of hand. Girl, what? She knew exactly what she was doing. She then left the room while crying. Jake didn't know what to say, and everybody left early the next day. So it explains why Jake was being such a POS. POS. Yes, because he saw Cindy crying and was like, oh my God, my wife made.
My sister, daughter, friend, Cindy cry. That's all he's thinking in his mind.
Derek also told that Cindy has always had issues with boundaries, and when he introduced his boyfriend to everybody, Cindy would get too close and would joke that she was just checking if he was really gay.
Are you gay?
Oh wow, that's messed up. The kid needs a lot of attention to be secure about herself, in her own words. They were really uncomfortable with it as well. So Derek confronted her. Makes sense. The person should be the one doing the confronting, which is what Jake should have done. Derek confronted her, to which Cindy rolled her eyes and said they can't take a joke, and eventually it stopped. If Jake did it, this should have gone way different. That's why I said his brain cells are still developing.
This is your brain.
Because Jake was supposed to have checked her actions 150 years ago. Now, this sounds so bizarre. I don't know what's going on with Cindy. Sean's girlfriend also texted me saying she was sorry for what happened. I told him how Sean's message inappropriate, but she had no idea about the text. So I sent her a screenshot and asked her to tell Sean to not harass me again. She was very apologetic and said that she would talk to him. Now, my mother-in-law called and asked what was going on, as Jake didn't tell her and only said we had an argument. I was a bit hesitant to tell her. Eventually told her everything. She was furious at my husband, as she should. That's a good mom. She said they will be coming to have a talk. So yeah, I am just waiting for them to arrive and really nervous. You shouldn't be. There's a lot of guys out there. I mean, if this one's stupid, move on. I'm serious. If this one's stupid, there's a lot of guys out there. I don't know if what I did was right or wrong. You have a whole team Reddit and us in the comments telling you that you were right to go. I don't know if what I did was right or wrong, but we will see. As for people saying my husband is some pedo or that they have an affair, I know this is furthest from the truth. I have never questioned his intentions, but what hurt me was the lack of respect from Cindy towards me, and your husband not checking her soon, like checking her attitude soon. And oh my gosh, you sit down and you see how you look at your wife, you see she's uncomfortable, and then you know that what's happening is not okay. That's normal. Even the woman, you sit down and look at, okay, this person is acting this way, it makes your husband uncomfortable, and then you check that. That's literally how people should be treating each other. Try not to hurt the person, because imagine that it was you.
I'll think about it.
Now, update number 2. So my mother-in-law came with my husband, and well, the talk happened. There were a lot of things, but I will try to summarize. Basically, Jake apologized to me first and tried to explain his point of view. I don't want any explanation, just the apology first. That's one thing. He said that he was very angry because I left without saying anything for the whole night. Brain cells, should interpret her leaving to you, when he was literally trying to just diffuse the situation and try to laugh it off because it was so awkward. He didn't know what else to do. But instead of communicating, I just left him in that weird situation. The fact that he's still thinking about him here, I'm already getting pissed. That apology is like tick taken away. But let's see. He was meeting his friends after such a long time and just wanted a dinner to be peaceful. And Cindy was going back anyways, and we would most likely never meet her again. B. He acknowledged Cindy was indeed overstepping boundaries, but he didn't know how to bring it up since he was literally seeing her growing up and she's like a little sister to him. Also, she acts like that with everyone. He thought that it was just for a few days and he wanted no drama during the stay, so he would just brush it off. I think that if what he's saying makes a little bit of sense, but if that was his approach, Mr. Communication, you should have had that communication with her first. You retire to your room after all of the days that she was staying there. Okay, hey, babe, I feel like this child is going to be doing this throughout, and I don't want to scold her. I do know that it's wrong. Like, at least talk to her, let you guys be on the same page. And even if that's the situation, at least when Cindy is acting up, try to overplay your affection with your wife to tell Cindy without telling her that she's doing too much. Try to overplay a PDA with your wife. And I don't know, but they should have at least been on the same page, not just him sitting in and she's been like, oh, this stupid man does not know what's happening. He did acknowledge he was wrong about not saying anything, of course. And see, he was already really worried and sad because how I just left with no explanations. Even after I came, not once I asked how he felt. Excuse me, I'm pissed. I have zero concern about how you feel. He was also very overwhelmed with everything and felt I was accusing him for not doing anything while he literally pushed her off as politely as possible when she tried to sit. He felt I was attacking his character and gave the ultimatum, which made him so sad. So he left. If I thought that less of him. It wasn't about Cindy, but about how easy it was for me to question his sincerity. He said after that dinner, he was going to go extremely low contact with her anyways. And for me, this is just BS. I feel like point A, B, C.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
He's only talking about, I felt this way. I felt like this and I was going to do this. I'm not a mind reader. Open your mouth and talk. This is how this felt. This is how this felt. Because he just keeps putting a lot of eyes. It's pissing me off. Let's go to D. He apologized for not speaking up about the disrespect Cindy was showing towards me. As he should. That should have been A, B, and C and D. Towards me, and for also leaving like that. Then after Jake said everything, my mother-in-law explained Jake about the situation from her perspective. She scolded him a lot as well. I would like to watch that. In short, she told him that as a husband, it was his responsibility to make me feel like I am his priority, obviously, and that he disappointed me the moment I had to come to ask him for establishing boundaries. That's true. Can I keep the mother-in-law? She's like, she's good. She's a good one. As a husband, it was his duty that I never would have to come to him about this in the first place. She also asked him how he would have felt had it been a guy on my lap, and he had no answer to it. Mother-in-law is older, but she's coming like 2 light years after what I already said. Like, this was the whole thing. Just do it and then let him, because it's so funny how men get like, are okay just being flirty, but if they see like any guy comes close to the girl, they go all tiger mode. That's always funny. So he had no words. He's like, Let's not even think about it. Let's not even imagine such things. Now, she told him how what I did was an eruption of suppressed feelings. Obviously, it has happened for days. And as a husband, it was his duty to go after me and never let me leave in the first place. Could I kiss this mother-in-law? She's like so good. She should join our therapy sessions. Okay, she told him how, yeah, and go after me in the first place. There were a lot of things said by her, and Jake seemed to realize and sincerely apologize for his action. She told him if he ever pulled such stunts ever again, then to not expect her to take him in. Like, don't come to my house when you act stupid.
You come to my home.
That's so good. Later, she took me for a walk. If it was just the two of us, and there she explained some things to me as well. She said she's really sorry for everything, but told that even at her house, Jake was distraught. He had better be. He didn't tell her because he most likely knew he was wrong too, but was overwhelmed about everything as well. She said she is in no way excusing her son's behavior, but we hope that I will forgive him. She also said that in no circumstances should I leave my house, as it is my house and my family. She said I shouldn't be afraid of speaking my mind if anything makes me uncomfortable, and to talk to her if Jake does something stupid again, and she will set him straight. Oh my god. She's literally married to the best mother-in-law in the world. She hoped we worked it out since she has seen our love for each other, and it would be so sad to see us split up due to some disrespectful brat. Her words. Yeah, correct words. She said she cannot have a say in our issues, but suggests that we should get counseling to understand each other better. They don't even need counseling. They have her, and she's like his mom, so, and his one was wrong, and she acknowledges that. So at least it will make sense. It's not like the girl's mom is taking her side. She even bought ice cream for me. I know it's a bit childish, but she said sweet things work as a charm when people are upset, and she was right. Okay, that was real good. Now, while it was awkward at night, Jake came to our room, and we didn't know what to say. Oh my gosh. People on Reddit are giving us like so much information, and we are living for it. After a while, we talked and both apologized to each other. However, I did tell him that I was angry at him, to tell everything to. This is a bit tricky. My English is not that great. However, I did tell that I was angry at him, to tell everything to Sean, and was deeply hurt by the text he sent me. He said he didn't know what I was talking about, and I showed him the text. He said he didn't tell Sean about our fight and only told him that he was at mom's place. He called Sean, and well, it turns out Sean told Cindy and told her how she went too far at the party. Then Cindy made a huge sub story about how I was passive aggressive with her the whole time, how I would always try to question her character and act insecure and jealous. Oh my gosh, this child needs an ass whooping. Sorry, but yeah. She even went on to say that I was always like that with her, even when she was a kid, and that I never liked her and always tried to manipulate people to thinking that I was an angel while she was a slut. Well, that made him angry to think how I have been treating Cindy and sent those texts. Jake and I were baffled by such accusations, and he tried to explain to Sean how it wasn't true, but Jake just let it be and decided to go no contact with Cindy and extremely low contact with Sean. Jake apologized again, and we just cuddled and slept. Well, Cindy's out of our lives for good, and we have decided to go for counseling for better communication in the future. Let's see how everything goes in the future. But yeah, we are not getting divorced.
Oh, well, congratulations.
You shouldn't. I mean, you have the mother-in-law with you. You have her on your side. At least she's really understanding. I know a lot of you people wanted me to show Jake this post, but he was so sad and got scolded a lot already. So I decided not to show him for now. Maybe in the future, like 5 years later, you like, hey babe, remember when you were stupid with the whole Cindy situation? Like, just remember that. I put you on Reddit and this is what the whole world had to say. Show him this video as well. And I think people are going to go crazy in the comments, especially when they start watching. Because at the start of the story, it was like,
Come on, smell my fingers.
I
Yeah.
don't smell shit.
I was losing my mind. Maybe in the future, sorry for all this ramble. Have a good day. Now, the last edit that she did was, I read people saying that we should go no contact with Sean too, and I felt that it would be best to let that friendship go as well. So I talked to my husband about it and he agreed. So he sent a text to Sean stating we could not be friends with him and then blocked him as well. To clarify, I have somewhat forgiven Jake for his actions, but I told him he needs to rebuild the trust I had. So I know I can rely on him in situations like that. He agreed, and we will get couples counseling as well. Thank you all. I think she's trying to say thank you all for your advice. You all made me feel less lonely lonely in all of this. Well, I have nothing to say because the mother-in-law is like the superhero in this situation, and everyone needs a mother-in-law like that. Because I shouldn't say a bad word, but one bad word, mother-in-law, might have taken her son's side, but this is a great one, and they literally don't even need counseling after this. What did you guys think? I want to know your thoughts in the comments, but this was a really good one, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.